Imagine yourself right now. You're the 1.0 version of you who can only accomplish certain things because of his mindsets, his skills, and his experiences. Because you can only get consistent on NoFap for this amount of days. You can only get consistent with your habits for this amount of days. You can only make this much of revenue. But the 2.0 version of you, who is more advanced, who's probably older, who has more experience, has more skills, more mindset switches, can accomplish more of those things, can probably last longer on NoFap, can probably be more consistent with his habits, and can probably make much more revenue, much more money. This 1.0 version of you has limits to what it can accomplish with money, with status, with sex, with all these things, with attracting women, with everything you can think of in self-improvement. But your 2.0 version of you, who is more advanced, who's probably older, could accomplish way more things. So why not you visualize yourself as this 2.0 version of you rather than just keeping yourself at this 1.0 version of you, your identity. So what you can do is literally visualize yourself as this 2.0 version of you who is more advanced, and you can do this by just looking at big influencers and asking yourself, what would they do? What would this big influencer do? What would Hamza do? What would Iman do? What would Andrew Tate do in this exact scenario? For example, they will probably click off this video, but I don't want you to click off this video just yet. Let's say you're just sitting in your room, you're just watching random self-improvement videos, or maybe you're not even watching self-improvement videos. Maybe you're just scrolling on YouTube, kind of just mind wandering, going on your phone, and this thought comes into your mind. What would Andrew Tate do? Would he be scrolling on his phone while he's just sitting in his room, sitting in his couch when he knows he should be reading, when he knows he should be working out? Probably not. He'll probably be just working out. He'll probably be doing something harder. What would David Goggins do? Would he just be sitting in his room not running? Or he'll go out and run for 10 hours or something, I don't know. So ask yourself this question throughout your day, and this is very, very powerful, this self-improvement journey, because it allows you to make way better decisions based on these higher people's beliefs, these more intelligent, more advanced people's beliefs. Whereas, rather than you kind of chipping away at your self-improvement journey, the thoughts of your 2.0 version of you is like a magnet to the 1.0 version of you right now, because you're kind of like the 1.0 version of you. You can only accomplish certain things. If you change your whole mindset to think you're that 2.0 version of you, then you can make much more progress than if you were just thinking in your 1.0 brain. Because think about it this way, if you were able to travel back in time 1 year, you would do a lot of things way differently because of your mindsets, your beliefs, your experiences. Like just a month ago, when you just found, maybe a few months ago, maybe a few years ago, when you just found out about self-improvement, every single month that went by, you kind of looked back and you saw your younger self and you were like, bro, this guy was such a loser. Why did he do that? Why did he do this? Why didn't he know this? Why didn't he have this mindset? Why didn't he just do this earlier? You knew a lot of things that your younger self didn't know. And this is just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. The next month from now, your older self is going to think, why did you right now is not doing this thing? Why not do this kind of thing? Why didn't he do this thing? So why don't you just believe you are that person over there? But the practical ways you can do this is by asking yourself, what would X do? What would David Goggins do? What would Andrew Tate do? What would Iman do? What would Hamza do? What would anyone that you look up to? What would Sam Ovens do? What would Alex Hormozi do? I don't know. Whatever. Just keep asking yourself these questions throughout the day, and it will literally just change your entire path, because this is you 1.0 version of you. This is the brain of all of these successful people combined. This is like bringing all of their success. Because imagine if all of these successful people just lost everything. They just lost everything. They lost their money, they lost their car, they lost their business. Then they'll be able to build it up quite fairly quickly. And it's not because they just are lucky or anything. It's because they have the mindset, they have the beliefs, they have the like 8.0 version of themselves, and they have the 8.0 version mindset of themselves, but they are like in the area, in the scenario of them being 1.0. They are the 1.0 versions of themselves, so they can just easily get to that destination. You've heard the success stories where millionaires lose everything and then they just build it up again in a few months because they're actually good. They actually have mindset. They actually have skills. They keep asking themselves, what would this successful person do? How would I become more successful than these other people? Just keep asking yourself this question. Change your identity to you seeing yourself as this 2.0 version of yourself, to you seeing yourself as more successful, more like these influencers. And it's so powerful when you use like a real person, because you're going to ask yourself, oh, what would this person do? Just ask yourself, what would your future self do? That's a good question as well. And also just visualize yourself as someone who is already good at what he does. For example, I used to fap 7 times a day, and I made a little bit of progress on NoFap until I got to 3 to 2 days. And I heard about this mindset switch about identity. And I convinced myself that I'm no longer a fapper. I'm no longer a fapper. I no longer fap. I'm consistent with my habits. I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm strong. I'm no longer a fapper. I'm no longer a fapper. I'm no longer a fapper. And guess what? I fapped after I said that. But a few months later, I didn't fap for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Because I didn't believe I was this person anymore. I didn't believe I was this loser. And that's the power of identity switching. You don't need to be so advanced. You don't need to be at the destination where you are. You just need to believe you are kind of that person. You don't, even if you fap fucking 7 times a day. That's what I did. But I still believed I wasn't a fapper, and I made progress. Because it's like you, the 2.0 version of you is like a magnet. The beliefs and the mindset that he has, it's kind of like a magnet for your 1.0 version of yourself. You just like imagine you were able to go back in time right now and give a little bit of advice to your younger self. Then he'll make a lot more progress because you tell him, oh, have this mindset switch. Oh, do this. Don't skip your workout. Oh, try this new business, whatever. Then you're being like a magnet. And that's basically what you're doing right now. And another way you can change your identity is through affirmations. Just like the story I told you where I told myself, I'm no longer a fapper, I'm no longer a fapper, I'm no longer a fapper. That is an affirmations where you tell yourself a sentence or just a short sentence. So for example, you are strong. You can tell yourself these affirmations. I am strong, I'm confident, I outwork 99% of people, I'm better than 99% of people, I am more healthy than 99% of people. If you just keep telling yourself that you're naturally gonna outwork 99% of people. You're naturally gonna be better than 99% of people because you believe you're this person who's better than 99% of people. So you're just naturally gonna act like the person who's better than 99% of people. Affirmations also give you that tiny boost. For example, I remember this one time I was in class and I was feeling a little bit tense next to this girl. And I just told myself, I'm confident. This girl is beneath me. I'm better than her. She deserves to be with me. I am confident. I'm confident. I'm confident. And naturally, I just became more confident. It just gave me a little boost. And this is the power of affirmations. It just give you like a little 5-10% boost to your confidence or whatever you're speaking about. It's just like, do you remember in Minecraft when you ate a golden apple and you got like regeneration and defense? That's basically like what affirmations are. They just give you that like tiny buff. I remember this one time I was doing my workout and I just told myself, I am strong, I'm strong, I'm strong. And it was like my last set in my hammer curls. And bro, I was able to push through because of it. So these affirmations are very powerful to you throughout your day. You just tell yourself, I'm strong. And you literally visualize right now. Imagine you visualize yourself lifting weights and tell yourself, I'm strong, I'm disciplined. I'm David Goggins style disciplined. Tell yourself, you're strong, you're confident, you destroy your competition, that you're disciplined. Tell yourself these affirmations and they're very powerful. And one extra tip that I want to give that not many people have spoken about, which is when you use affirmations, but you give a little reason why you are actually that kind of affirmation. So for example, tell yourself, I am strong. I am strong because I lift weights. And you don't have to say anything big. Just tell yourself like a tiny little reason why you're strong. Tell yourself a little tiny reason why you outwork 99% of people. Just tell yourself, I outwork 99% of people because I'm reading a self-improvement book that's going to help me in the future. It doesn't need to be that big. Just a little reason that chips a little bit into your brain. Tell yourself a little reason, and that kind of drills the affirmation more into your head. It kind of just chips away deeper into your brain. And the more you tell yourself these affirmations, the more you're going to believe them and the more you're going to just act upon them. The more you're going to act upon being better than 99% of people. The idea of changing your identity is trying to become the person you want to be before you're actually that kind of person. And it makes you act and think like that higher person. So these big influences or your future self, rather than the 1.0 version of you can't really make much progress. Imagine your current identity as a small pot in which a young tree, you, is planted. The pot size limits the tree growth. So right now your beliefs limit the amount of money you can make, the amount of habits you can stay consistent with, the muscle you can build. It cannot grow and expand, and the tree can't reach its fullest potential to grow larger and stronger. The tree needs to be planted in a bigger pot. So seeing yourself as this more successful person, as this more intelligent person, is like you moving from that small pot to the bigger pot where you can expand your roots, you can expand your mindset, you can make a lot more progress, rather than you being in this tiny pot with your 1.0 version of yourself. Now you're in this big pot with your 2.0 version of yourself, asking yourself, what would these successful people do? What would Iman do? What would Andrew Tate do? What would David Goggins do? You ask yourself these questions and you naturally act like these kind of people, and you grow your roots, and now you can make a lot more progress and you can grow taller and you can go greater as a tree. Envision yourself as you being in this bigger pot and the more successful version of you, and this will make significant progress in your self-improvement journey. And that's the idea of identity. It's such a powerful topic that not many people are speaking about, surprisingly, but and you're getting this knowledge early because not many people know about this, because it's not a very common topic and not many people are speaking about it. So if you can pick up on this topic, you're actually going to be able to be the 1% of the 1%. You're going to be able to become the 1% of the 1%. You're going to become such a lethal competitor against other men who just visualize themselves as, yeah, I'm going to meditate 10 minutes today. Oh, I don't really want to work. Oh, okay, I'm just not going to work out. You're going to visualize yourself as you being already at the destination, as that 2.0 version of you, as you being these big influencers, as you asking yourself, what would this successful person do? Oh, okay, I'm disciplined, I'm strong, I'm going to go to the workout. Okay, E-Man would not skip his workout. Andrew Tate would not skip his workout. So why am I skipping this workout? If I want to be like them, then I shouldn't skip my workouts. I'm going to go and work out today. It makes you such a lethal competitor against other men. And it's such a valuable skill to have. And just a little quick plug, if you want to join my free community where I'm right now making a guide about habits and about productivity. So if you want to see that, click on the first link in the description. And also I do coaching if you're interested. You're probably not interested, but that'll be the second link in the description. And yeah, have a good day, and I really hope you benefited from this video.